joining us at the table today is Violeta Podrumedic?
Podrumedic.
Podrumedic,
yes.
There we go. Podrumedic, it's Serbian.
Yes.
It's great, I love it. We also enjoy your work from WGN Radio. Welcome, we're excited that you are here with us today.
Thank you guys, I'm so excited to be here. This is so fun. It's a little early for me.
Yeah, you do afternoons.
Yes, I'm on in the afternoon, so this is bright and early.
So what time do you normally wake up?
Later than I want to admit.
Yeah, we'll just get angry with you. We don't want to get started
And
off.
you didn't know this, but you came in a jumpsuit, which Felicia and I and
love
Jordan,
We love a good jumpsuit.
It's hard to find a good jumpsuit, so I appreciate you guys, noticing.
Amen, sister. It is hard.
Hey, I can't move too far though, okay? So easy with those high fives.
Okay, all right, so let's get into jam session. According to doctors, some people can be allergic to, get this, are you ready? Sex. People can be allergic to sex. In fact, there's something called post-orgasm illness syndrome. It's an illness for everything. This is where you get a flu-like symptom after playing house. So the question is, if you're allergic to sex and inevitably you got sick post-sex, would you still engage in it?
I wonder if this is a WebMD disease.
I think it's real.
V, would you still do it? Would you still play the hanky-panky if you knew you were going to get sick?
Well, I mean, sometimes it's hard to convince someone to do it anyway. So I don't know if you're
I
allergic.
don't think you have that problem.
If it's I don't know. I mean, you gotta do it, right? Still.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad could the symptoms be?
Flu-like sounds
flu-like.
pretty bad.
I think the question is, how good is the sex going to be? That's probably.
That is a good question. That is true.
So you got to
There just
see
must be
whether
a
or not it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Right.
in all reality, look, the truth is if you have sex, you can get really sick afterwards if you don't do it the right way.
Wait,
so
what?
that's something to think about, right?
No, what are you
Nobody's-
talking
Oh,
about?
right, like like a disease.
There you go.
Okay, I got you.
I just hope there's medication. Like, you want people to be able to live a full life. That's like a real issue that
I would
someone
still
could be
do it.
dealing
I would
with.
still do it. It's
You
sex.
would.
It's, I
You'd
mean,
risk your life.
yeah, like, look, when you're really frustrated.
Every time, 24 hours, you are out, you are sick, you have fevers and sweats, maybe boils.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that happens anyway. Right?
Yeah.
You're sweating, your
Who
heartbeat's
are you
going.
two sleeping with?
I think, look,
Sweat and boils.
if you get sick, then they have to nurse you back to health, which inevitably leads to more sex. I think it's a great situation. And then you get to stay home from work and have more sex. I think it works out perfect. So now we're going to send it over to Krista Green to see what she thinks about this.
Yeah, this one is super interesting to say the least. And just like you said, Jordan, I wonder how many people would be walking around sneezing or calling in sick to work with these flu-like systems if they were allergic. So we got to kick it out to our viewers for this one. We want to know, would you still have sex if you were allergic? Vote now on the Jam TV show's social media. And if you vote, obviously, with that thumbs up, be sure to write in on Facebook or Twitter because you've got some sex-splaining to do. We will be checking all morning, guys. Back to you.
I love a good pun. All right, so Marjorie Harvey, the wife of Steve Harvey, she's in some hot water for being insensitive to those who have intellectual disabilities. Here's the offensive remark that she made.
I'm sitting here arguing with my husband because clearly he thinks I'm retarded. I don't know how to cut the beat.
Well, it's not that you don't know how to cut it. You was finna cut yourself. Why you cutting it down in there?
Oh, if you heard there, she used the R word, which is definitely a very sensitive word for obvious reasons, that R word being retarded. So Steve hit back on Instagram when the backlash came their way with this. Standing up for his wife, he said, "What are you tripping about? Because my wife said the word retarded. It's a word, ain't it? And she ain't talking about nobody but herself to me. She ain't saying about nobody's baby. I don't ever comment. But damn, is you just looking for something to be pissed off about? Because we ain't." And I wrote it retarded. Nah.
So I like the fact that he's sticking up for his wife, first of all. But I think it's, what's the word? It's, first of all, you know how the internet can be. So the internet probably lashed out a little too hard. But I think you have to be open. Times have changed. Times have changed. We used to say that. We also used to say the word like, oh, that's gay, referring to something that's lame. Like that's what we used to say in high school. But now we know it's inappropriate. That was 10, 15 years ago. We know that that's not acceptable anymore to use the word like that.
Yeah, it's definitely insensitive, to say the least. But also, what's funny, in his Twitter post, a lot of those words aren't words that he used. So he's abbreviating and changing it. So I think if he's changing the language, she can change hers.
This bummed me out. I think Steve Harvey needs a dose of sensitivity and humility. I don't care if he's sticking up for his wife. Wrong is wrong and right is right. people with disabilities, intellectual or physical disabilities, are a group of people that are the most underrepresented because they don't have people advocating for them. And so I think a lot of times we don't necessarily know that the word retarded is as hurtful as other words that are against other minority groups. Even Howard Stern has changed his language and he does not use this word anymore. If Howard Stern can recognize that this word is wrong, Steve Harvey, recognize it.
Yeah, to me, it's one of those words that, it's maybe a slip of the tongue, so I'm not going to hold her down and crucify her for it.
Right.
But what I am going to say is, Steve, you should know better, man. You're on a lot of platforms. You're a role model to a lot of people. Steve had the chance here to say, maybe to his wife out to the side, that wasn't the best thing. First, maybe not post it or take it down. I don't know if they have. To this moment, they still haven't. Yeah. But Steve had the opportunity to come out and say, this is a word that's been used and it's been commonplace in our language. My wife used it. She definitely has no ill feelings towards any type of people. We're non-discriminatory people. This was a slip of the tongue. We're taking down a video, and we're really sorry. This is a learning moment. Yeah. And Steve, who's so polished on camera and knows that because everything he does on camera, he's got more jobs than anybody, should have known that this was the time to apologize. And this thing would have been a non-story. We wouldn't be talking about it today.
I think it's definitely
you as a friend.
I think it's definitely just a difference in generation.
Sure.
It's different times, but you have to be open to the changing times. But I definitely wouldn't persecute him because that's how we used to talk.
Right, but when you make a mistake, don't double down.
Yeah,
Apologize.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
That's a good point.